Lake District, unquote. Please understand that this is to be from inception to the enactment of the ordinance, which is the real reason Clark Lake Advancement Association has been asked to form a Lake District. The inception time has already started. With respect to White Potato Lake District, at the July 20th meeting, under correspondence, Chairman Wolfel said, and I quote, "I also had a conversation with an individual who started a lake district on White Potato Lake in Wisconsin. It did not take 3 years." And he is absolutely right. It took 20 years. I've been in contact with their treasurer and their president. Their efforts started in 1999, and they tried 3 different times over 20 years to enact to become a lake district. It was not until their Eurasian water milfoil became so extensive and so expensive to manage that they succeeded in getting more than 51% of the members to sign the petition. And only in this final push, with 11 people working on it, was the Lake District formed in 1.5 years. This 1.5 years did not include obtaining voting jurisdiction or enacting an ordinance, as White Potato Lake is protected by an ordinance enacted by their town of Brazeau. With respect to Round Lake District, Round Lake District in Burnett County is the only lake district I can find that was established exclusively to get an ordinance to ban wake boating. Round Lake has an average depth of 15 feet and a maximum depth of 25 feet. I reached out to 2 board members who stated that they established the Lake District because the Lake Association felt it was imperative to protect the lake from damage due to visiting wake boats from VRBO rentals, since the town declined to pass the ordinance. With much help from Extension Lakes, it took 1.5 years to form the Lake District, but another whole year to get the ordinance enacted, and that was in September of 2024. That meant 3 full summers that lake remained vulnerable. Round Lake District's intention, I don't know why I'm holding this. Sorry, I don't know what I did.
Did you hit the mute button?
Where is that?
It's the button right up by the top of your hand.
Well, I'm sorry. Does this work?
No.
Does this work?
There you go.
You know what? The power went off. It's flashing red.
Oh, the
Maybe
battery.
the battery's bad, huh?
Yeah.
Can you turn the power off?
Sorry,
Yeah,
Gwen.
well, that's it.
Sorry, Gwen.
Okay, I got lost here, sorry. Oh, Round Lake District's intention is to simply rescind the ordinance if they're sued, as they have no police patrol. The towns of Sebastopol and Jacksonport can do exactly this now, enact the ordinance for which they already have the jurisdiction before the 2027 boating season. And should they get sued, not simply threatened with a lawsuit, they can rescind the ordinance. The third issue is a comment by Chairman Wolfel during the July 20th correspondence agenda item. And I quote, it took me a few listens, but I think I got it right. I mean, if you think about the things that they have asked us to do, monitor, control, or fix over the years, it's a fairly lengthy list, and they've consumed a lot of our time and resources. With all due respect, I would like a detailed analysis of this time and resources to which this sweeping statement refers. As I'm sure everyone on the board knows, and I quote from correspondence with the DNR, as owner of the dam, the town of Sebastopol is responsible for operation, maintenance, repair, and all compliance with regulations associated with the dam. Hence, in my opinion, this analysis of time and resources that Clark Lake Advancement Association utilized, quote, over the years, should exclude all the time related to their responsibilities in owning the dam. And my final comment, 4th item is, a Sand County Almanac was written in 1949 by Aldo Leopold, in which he introduced his signature land ethic. It remains critically relevant to this day. And I quote, "A thing is right when it tends to preserve the integrity, stability, and beauty of the biotic, or all living things, community. It is wrong when it tends otherwise." With this in mind, I am requesting that the town of Sevastopol actively work with the town of Jacksonport to pass identical ordinances to protect Clark Lake now. This will prevent further delays so that the lake and all who partake of it will not need to endure the safety and environmental hazards from resident and visiting wake boats. The ordinance can be rescinded at any time should the town get actually sued. I understand that you have been given legal counsel to be, quote, in a holding pattern. We have had one narrow decision in federal court in favor of the towns with the town of Scott judgment. With no ability to enforce the ordinance, the town cannot be sued for, quote, takings or financial remuneration to those people who aren't able to use their wake boat as a wake surfing boat. There are two current lawsuits, one in the town of Elkhart Lake, the other in the town of Manitowish Waters, both of them now in federal court. Once there is a judgment that would give your legal counsel a level of comfort to allow the town to move forward, please take that opportunity and move quickly. In my opinion, this is the most expeditious approach. Clark Lake still cannot protect itself. Our 2027 season awaits. Thank you for the extra time and for listening.
Okay, a couple quick comments. The recommendation for a lake district, regardless of the amount of time, should be pursued aggressively because at some point in time, the town of Jacksonport and the town of Sevastopol may not agree. There could be a change in management which would inhibit your ability to move forward in that regard in any way. The second one regarding Potato Lake, I understand it took them 20 years. The issue wasn't to try and form the Lake District, it was to get the 51% to agree. I fully expect that the 51% caveat has to do with the fact that there is the ability to assess taxes for the management of the district. But you're correct, it's a little bit of a variation in terms of the amount of time since they started it, but the issue being the percentage of people on the Lake District or the percent of people in the lake that had to form the district. I don't know anything about Round Lake. I know that the town of Scott opinion has been reviewed by our attorney. It essentially means nothing to us, one way or the other. As you undoubtedly know, they said they were never going to enforce the ordinance anyhow, so then you have to ask the question, why did they go through the entire process to do it in the first place? Don't know the answer to that. Not aware of it. In terms of the amount of time that this town has dedicated to it, I've never taken the position to extract time from management of the dam versus other things that are done for the lake. So good luck on my providing you detail on that. And then I guess my last question, and I can always ask Tom Wilson, have they started this whole process and come to us? Not to my knowledge, but at any rate, that being said. Is there anyone else wishing to speak? All right. Hearing nothing else, we're going to move on to our agenda. The agenda properly noticed.
The agenda has been properly noticed.
Motion to adopt.
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Motion by Jeannie, second by
I second.
Stacy. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Approval of minutes, Board of Supervisors meeting from July 20. You've had a chance to look at those. Motion to approve would be in order.
I'll make motion to approve the minutes of the Board of Supervisors meeting from July 20th, 2026.
Second?
Motion by Mark, seconded by Jeannie. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Pending business, Associated Appraisal Consultants. We just touched on this subject last month's meeting, and we asked Mark to come and talk a little bit more in detail, because frankly, I didn't quite get it all. The issue at hand, for those of you in the audience or at home, is 2 years ago, we went through a total reassessment for the town, and you have to be in compliance with state regulations to be plus or minus 10%, after which time a clock starts that says eventually you have to step in and do a reappraisal, and if you don't do it within the state's designated timeline, which I believe is 3 years, the state can then step in and do this on their own. Unbelievable as it may seem, we were at 100% after we did the reappraisal, and we have since subsequently slipped to 80%. So we have, 2 years in a row, started the compliance clock, if you will. And so there are obviously different alternatives to doing a total reassessment in the sense of sending people physically to every house. And we wanted to understand those options. And that's the reason that we invited Mark here this evening to talk a little bit about that and what course of action we can take. So.
Yeah,
is that-
thanks for having me. So every municipality has to keep the assessments within 10% of Department of Revenue's equalized value, at least once in a 4-year period. So this, we're going to be entering for 2026. This will be the second year that we've been out of compliance. DOR recommends that you should conduct an on-site inspection revaluation at least once every 10 years. And so because we did one in 2024, gives you some more flexibility where you can do what's called an interim market update. Basically, interim updates between on-site inspection revals. And so for 2027, that's what the option I provided Amy was conducting an interim market update. We utilize the records that we have on file that we collected in 24 and update every year for permits and things like that. We bring the town's assessments back into compliance by updating to current market values and bring it within the 10% threshold that the Department of Revenue requires. So.
I'm sure the board has other questions too, but is this in effect adjusting everyone up X% across the board, or is it individualized based on,
So it's
how
the
do you
same.
go through that?
Yeah, same process we did in 24. We would revalue all parcels, all tax classifications, every part of the township. We just wouldn't be conducting the on-site inspections part of that program, but we wouldn't blanket everybody at the same percentage or anything like that. Every property changes at different amounts. Everybody has a different market value that might have changed over the last couple of years. And so we would then recalibrate our model and reestablish everybody's assessment again, land, improvements, everybody gets revalued for 2027 in this case.
And we have, what, another year from 26 to implement that if we chose?
Yeah, so you, again, your clock started last year, and so you get up to 4, and then they'll send you a letter after the 4th year out of compliance, saying that you have 2 before they'll step in and conduct one. You don't want to get to that point. It's Department of Revenue oversees the whole process. They hire their own independent consultant to come do the work, and it ends up being 3 to 4 times the cost. So the option that I presented is the most economical option that you have because it doesn't involve so much on-site inspection field work, and it will bring you back into compliance just like the 2024 one did.
Did you recently do Sturgeon Bay
Yes.
City? And what was the interval between their reval and the market adjustment?
It was a very similar. We did on-sites in 2019, and then we did an interim market update for them last year.
Excuse me. Somebody started talking. Would
Yeah,
you
that's
repeat
okay.
that, please?
Sure. Yeah, we conducted an interim market update for them last year, updated their values. We've been doing it more often for a lot of our Door County communities, just with the way the market has appreciated so rapidly. It doesn't take long for you to fall out of compliance when increases are 10, 15% in a year. Been a little slower this last year, but we're conducting revaluations in Liberty Grove, town of Gibraltar this year, and a couple other ones. So Forestville's are being revalued.
So if we were to wait 4 years, chances are we're going to be back down where we were in the 60% category?
Yeah, likely be in the high 60s, maybe low 70s. It just means a larger increase in 1 year as opposed to maybe something a little bit less if you did it sooner, more often. I think in an active market, I would always recommend maybe doing it every 2 years. But certainly you can go as long as they'll allow you or whatever you choose to do in between. And every municipality is in different stages of revaluation. Some just choose to do it every 2 years. Some will wait every 4. There's no requirements other than this 10% threshold. So.
Okay. Anyone on the board have questions about this? Because
Yeah.
I don't think we'd want to obviously let this go like we did last time, because even though not everyone experienced, kind of everybody rose at the same degree, it still was somewhat of a shocker, I think, to everybody in terms of the valuations, so.
Okay, and the price quotes that you set out there are firm for 27 through 2031?
Yeah, I said they were flexible, 27, 28. It's really up to the board what they decide.
And then the contract that you submitted, and the services that you provide look very similar to what you've done in the past. Are there any major changes in the contract from our previous contract?
No major changes. Annual maintenance is all-inclusive, and then the optional reval is for the additional services, and then there'd be addition for any postage and mailing as
Right.
part of that. Yep.
Right, which we've always been responsible for.
Correct.
Mhm, okay.
So the doing what you're calling the interim update in 27, so the price I'm looking at 19,950, is that what the charge would be, or is that just regular payment that we make just for your services in general?
So the 19,950 is for our typical annual maintenance
Right.
contract. The additional 45,000 is for the revaluation.
Okay,
That can be spread out. Generally, we do a percentage billing,
Yeah.
where as we progress throughout the project, we would bill you based on that. We're flexible, so. Then we've estimated maybe about $4,800 in postage and mailing services, based on all the notices that have to go out to all parcels.
Although I can't lay my hands on it as I speak, I think here it is. So the annual amount that, the 19,950 that Jeannie was referring to jumps in 28 to 23, and then it flatlines more or less 24, 5, 6,
Oh, by a grand.
26,000. Not years, sorry. Why the big increase between 27 and 28?
So this was the end of our 5-year previous contract, and so it was just a reset for a new 5 years, and just with things with cost and stuff over that 5
Okay.
years since the last one, yep.
Okay.
if it's going to cost us $45,000 plus 4,800 postage and mailing,
It's a 50,000.
why wouldn't we try to delay it a little bit longer?
Well, we certainly can. That's the board's call. I just think the impact that you have by delaying, given that in 2 years we dropped 20%, and maybe you know this better than me, Mark, didn't Sturgeon Bay's values drop by almost 35 or 40% in like 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, again, with appreciation, if you see 10% a year, it won't take long, and that difference between market value and what the assessments are at, because assessments are flat right now since they were set in '24. So as the market continues to increase, the next time we update values, you're going to see a far greater increase than what you would if you did it sooner. Nobody knows what the market's going to do in the next 2 to 3 years, but there hasn't been any indication that it's going to change anytime soon, so.
Definitely not gonna get any cheaper than now.
No, but
The
you might have
postage
a
is
big,
going up and the.
it might be a bigger
Under
shock
contract,
if
exactly.
you wait.
Yeah?
Well, we don't have to make a decision tonight. I wanted to ask him to at least bring you all up to speed. I can bring it back, or you can still decide tonight.
Just,
Well-
could you clarify the 45,000? So we have our set payments for the next 5 years, and I'm looking at your fee schedule. And so optional reval add-ons per year, 45,000 for each revaluation assessment year. Would that be on top of that, on top of our
Yeah,
regular
That's what he said.
payments?
Correct.
yeah.
Divided by over 5 years?
So
No.
the-
No?
No.
No, the 45 would be over the year of the reval. So whatever year you choose to conduct the revaluation,
It's an
it would be
additional
an additional
45,000,
Correct.
in addition to whatever that year's annual
Correct.
maintenance fee was?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That's why I wanted to delay the pain.
We can go both ways.
Yeah.
Well, you would advise us when it would be a good time to do that, correct?
I think once you get to that 80% range, so last year we were at 88% overall. This year, it's going to be at least another 6 to 7% drop. So you're going to be close to 80%. At the end of '27, if you didn't do a reval, you'd be in the 70s. And
Even-
so,
Even with your annual maintenance, where you are going to increase assessments, we would still fall that?
so annual
much?
maintenance is, doesn't involve any updates for market
Oh, I
conditions.
thought you said something about adjusting, looking at each parcel. Actually, I made a note here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the same.
Oh, okay, reval. We reval all parcels, okay.
Yeah, generally
Only
during
in
the
the reval
maintenance
year.
year, we're looking at
Okay.
permits and sales
All right.
and zoning changes and classifications. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I think what he's also suggesting is what we had done when we did the full reval, is we paid on a percentage basis based on the amount of work that they
Yeah.
did.
Yeah,
So depending on the timeline, it could be a split over 2 fiscal years, depending on what's up.
So in our budgets work session, we would take that into consideration to budget for a reval in the next,
We'd have to set some money aside
Couple
to
years.
do it, yeah.
yeah, in addition to the regular maintenance, yeah. Okay, thank you.
So you want me to bring it back next month, or you want to wait till we do the budget and then decide? We can work on that.
If we approve the contract, are we approving the reval then too?
Well, there's
Well,
2,
basically-
the service,
this,
I mean, we
Annual.
we can just approve the contract for services, can't we? Because
Correct.
it
Yes.
doesn't address the reval.
correct.
So I put in the contract, the last page, it's an optional reval, so you can
Mhm.
choose
Yep, I
to
saw
do
that,
it
okay.
27 or 28, so that's up to you. Yep.
Well,
Yep.
Yep.
we're still under contract, so we don't have to approve a new contract till '28, correct?
No,
what?
this is our last.
No.
This is 26.
26 is the
26
last
is
year
the
of our
last.
current.
Okay.
yeah.
So that's why I thought you said the jump was gonna be so much, because our contract was done. Nice.
Well, I would tell you what, I would suggest that we at least approve
Yeah,
The contract.
the maintenance aspect of this contract, so that's behind us, and we can evaluate through the budget process and/or at a subsequent meeting as to the timing for doing the reassess partial, whatever verbiage is the right one. Assessment update, that's the right word.
Revaluation.
So,
reval without a site inspection is what it amounts to.
correct. No little red cars driving around the community.
So do you want a motion?
If you want to do that.
And the contract does say contract for maintenance assessment services.
Right.
So,
I'll make a motion to accept the contract for maintenance and services assessment agreement,
Services.
whatever the right verbiage is, that's my motion.
I'll second that,
All right, motion by Jeannie, second
as
By Linda.
presented.
to approve the assessment services annual maintenance contract, which is $19,950 for '27, moving to $23,000 in 2028, et cetera. Any further discussion, questions? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Part 1 done, thank you for making the trip.
Thanks, Mark.
We'll get back to you on part 2. All right. America's 250 celebration at the town park.
I think you missed
Well, we missed-
something.
You missed
Sorry.
Designation, destination for.
designated funds, designation of destination,
There's so many floating agendas around here.
Door County funds.
Sorry. I have it on another agenda. I'll put this one away. Okay. Designation, destination Door County funds. All right. So, as I think all of you are aware, we have been giving our money to Destination Sturgeon Bay, which has totaled approximately $90-some thousand
Room
to them
tax.
to promote Sebastopol community businesses
Room tax.
through room tax. It's a reallocation of room tax dollars. Most recently, we were fortunate enough, through Stacy's efforts, to get the business community to come in, hear our pitch, and to form a business association at the town level, which makes our business association eligible to receive what I believe this year to be $100,000 in funding to promote their businesses, which I think if you're any kind of business in our town and you have the opportunity to redirect $100,000 to support your business as well as others, it's a good thing. So we were asked by Destination Door County, which asks us to identify where those funds are going, and they gave us a timeline that didn't meet our needs, which was August 14th, 3 days ago. So I approached the new designated president of Destination Door County, and he gave us an extension, knowing that we were forming a business association. And so we are going to send back to them a document saying 100% of those funds are going to go to the Town of Sebastopol Business Association for next year. So if you're a business, and Stacy has a meeting, I think this week.
On Wednesday.
We
On
have,
Wednesday?
Yeah.
can I comment on this a little bit?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, first of all, it is not the Town of Sebastopol Business Association. It is the Sebastopol Business Association, comma, Inc.
Yeah.
And we have 7 directors and corporators that met at our last meeting. And so we have filed our articles of incorporation with the Wisconsin Department of Financial Institutions. However, I did talk to Mr. Jarish after our zone meeting. Plus, we have a lot to do before we can get our 501c6 designation. Articles of incorporation is just the start. We are looking at draft bylaws on Wednesday that have to define our structure, our organization, going forward. Control, we need conflict of interest policies. We need at least 3 years of a proposed budget. We have to summarize our activities. Very detailed, the more detail you can provide the IRS, the less likely your application will be refused. There's also a $600 filing fee that we need to finance, so on our agenda for Wednesday is finances, establishing a bank account and how we're gonna fund things. And the application can take up to 90 days to approve. So like I said, we have a long way to go. Talking to John last Thursday, he did offer some leeway on that time commitment as far as returning that designation, but,
I have that in writing from him, so.
well, an extension beyond that,
Okay.
a slight extension beyond that from our conversation. So this may be a little premature.
I would rather be premature than not at
Okay,
all.
but it is the Sebastopol Business Association, comma, Inc., per our articles.
All right.
We don't have any officers. I mean, this is
Maybe
all hopefully
Wednesday.
all going to
We
happen
can
on
do it.
Wednesday.
We can
We
do
can
it.
do
there-
it, sure,
is
but
there-
can do
it's not, we got to do it right.
We'll do it right.
Look at another way. Do you want us to just give it back to Sturgeon Bay?
No,
No,
Okay,
We're gonna
so
do it
we'll
right.
find
we
it,
want to do it right, and
But
it's
I do,
going to
but
take a lot of work.
Yeah.
we'll
A
find
lot of
a
work.
happy medium that, let's put it this way. I'm sure Sturgeon Bay would step up and say, ooh, you're delayed, so let me have the money and
oh, yeah.
we'll do the same great promotion that they've done so far.
The one page.
One page,
Right.
so, all right.
So Supervisor Wade is a business as part of the business association.
Oh, yeah.
So she's done all this on her effort to advance the whole thing as a business owner, not just the supervisor for this
Well,
town,
in
so.
addition to our ad hoc committee, I mean, you set
Right.
the foundation.
Yeah, but you volunteered to do a lot of work too, Linda, so it's appreciated.
Well, thank you, yes. I mean, our bylaws are long, what are they, like 25 pages
Oh,
or
yeah,
something?
there's a lot.
I mean, it's going to take a lot of time to go through those and cover everything that we need in this application, so. I mean,
So
I'm
what-
fine if you want to send the designation in, I guess we can always change it. but-
Well, that's kind of my take. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but that's what I'm saying. In the end, Sturgeon Bay will stand ready to take any funds, and it will be no different than what we've gotten from them in the past.
Right, and as far as, you know, if Destination Door County requires some documentation, at this point, we do have our filed articles of incorporation as a starting point,
We
right,
do,
Stacy?
We do.
I think we should pump the brakes a little bit and make sure we have all of our i's dotted and t's crossed before we do it.
We have to give it to somebody, Mark.
Well, if we lose out a year, we lose out a year. It might happen. It might have to go back to Sturgeon Bay for 1 year again, unfortunately. If we don't have everything in place, we're gonna be eating crow if
September,
they come and say
October,
that
November.
we don't have everything in place.
When I
But the flip side of that is,
think we can do it.
Well, thinking we can do it and doing it and having everything in place is two different
I-
things. I'm
yep,
just saying.
but I
we're-
think you have
we
some-
Hold on, we have a lot of things going on right now. You have a lot of things going on right now.
I know.
So what I'm saying is, I think we need to cover our bases here and not just jump in wholeheartedly right away.
But I think if you tell the people in the room, there's $100,000 next year. We need this done, this done, this done, this done, this
They'll
done.
get it
If
done.
everybody takes a task, it'll get done. And
You
you
see how
say,
many
next
volunteers
week
we
I need
have here
this.
every meeting, beating
No,
on the
but
door?
that has to be those businesses, and you say there's $100,000. Next meeting, I need this done, this done, this done. If we don't get it done, it's gone.
and if we
And
leave,
then what?
if we leave the
It's gone.
$100,000,
It's gone, exactly, it's gone,
Yeah.
or we give it back for a year.
It's gone.
I'm just saying,
It's gone.
that's what I'm saying, for 1
For
year.
1 year, then there's a pause. I think that's gonna motivate some of them.
I think we had good motivation
I think so too.
at the last meeting.
I think so too.
You
That's why I
know,
don't think there's
we
an
had-
issue.
We had 7 businesses step up for the
Yeah.
board, to form the board. So I think they realize the significance
Right.
of this dollar amount and what it can do for their business, their newly formed business association. So, you know, rather than pedal the bike backward, let's pedal it forward.
Right.
I think if you take the $100,000 carrot away, you lose enthusiasm and forward movement. And as I said, we designate them if it falls flat, that we're 3 months behind, and they get the funds, be what it may. They're not going to, they've demonstrated that they're not gonna do anything for us with the money.
Oh, I totally understand that,
So
Dan.
I would rather take a flyer on seeing if it can be accomplished, and
That's not
even
what-
if it's mid-year, I don't think it hurts us.
That's not what I'm saying. I think we should absolutely go for it, but to say that we're 100%, I mean, everything that Linda just said wasn't even brought up before she talked with John Jarsh.
Everything was
So-
brought up. I already did bylaws, I already did articles of incorporation. I've done a lot of that stuff. It's them getting together and just deciding what they want.
Yeah.
It's all there. It's deciding what they want to do as a team. So, I mean, it's there. All the information's there.
Here, I'll go a different route. I don't think we should back off at all. You guys have a meeting this week,
Wednesday.
make another assessment, we bring it back next month, we know the direction we want to go.
Yeah.
If we don't see the kind of progress, well, maybe we'll still look at it, but I got a hard time giving them a dime, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, fine, we have time from John and in documentation when he came back to me. So let's roll it a month. We know where we want to go. We know what you're
Yeah.
trying to achieve. It is an uphill task, but I think there's, you know,
There's
pot of gold
momentum.
at the end that is worth chasing.
There's momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we drop that significantly if we roll a year, because it'll just be a disappointment. So,
Yeah.
whatever. So what do you think about that?
Yeah.
I love it. I just think we need to make sure that we have
Well,
safeguards in place and that we don't look like fools if we don't meet any of the timelines. Well, I don't wanna just have 7 businesses included in this and everybody else on the outside going, well, we just didn't have enough time, whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
Does
the
that make
other-
sense?
The other businesses would be association members, not
Yeah.
the.
Right,
yeah.
but I mean, just
And there were
really
more-
get
there-
everybody included.
There were more people, businesses represented here other than the, beyond the
Right,
Right,
seven.
beyond the
Yeah.
7. The 7 are just the
It was a-
More- yeah.
directors,
Yeah.
or the, yeah.
Okay. So we'll bring it back for next month. We know where we want to go. You can give us an update on the progress, and we'll move from there, okay? So, America's 250th, hope there isn't another version of this agenda floating around. 250th celebration at Town Park. So, in honor of the US's 250th anniversary, Destination Door County gave some funds to each town in the county from room tax dollars to try and do some type of local celebration in their community. Our designation is what we're working on currently, which is targeted for October 3rd. We have met, we've talked about this. We're trying to put together an event so our local people can come in, and we would spend roughly the $6,000 that we have been given out of the tourism dollars to spend. Our lead on this has been Miss Waite, and she's been tracking with a lot of different ideas. So Linda, why don't you, even though we've had a little bit of update, let everybody else know.
Sure. All right, so first of all, the screen or the Jumbotron. So I've been talking to Steve from this, he's local, he's in Green Bay. We have using our tent, he's pretty certain the Jumbotron would not fit inside the tent. He suggested having it on the outside with no sides on the tent, but I don't think that's gonna work. So he does have an LED screen. This one, yeah, I need to update that a little bit, but anyway, he does have an LED 12 by 7-foot screen that will definitely fit in the tent, and he just assembles it. It does take a generator, but the Honda generator, I guess, I asked if it was noisy. He said, nope, shouldn't bother you or interfere.
Should we do an overview of this event? A little bit, maybe?
What we're planning,
Yeah, because I mean,
Like-
we're on the movies, but
food,
maybe nobody.
bouncy house, patriotic music, and movie in the park.
And ice cream? And ice cream?
And ice cream.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm working with him. We're gonna have a screen one way or the other. The cost is the same, 2,000. We might adjust it a little bit, but he's reserved something for us for that date, so we have to decide, are we going with him or not?
I have a quick question. Does it require a generator if we have power there for him? Because we have power all over the park, and I can get any power you need anywhere in the park without a generator.
He said it comes with a generator, and he's used to doing these things outside, but I can ask him if we can forego the generator.
I
You're
mean,
ta-
yeah, if we get, depending upon where you set it up, we got power at all the ball fields.
Yep.
We get power from the concession stand.
Okay.
You're talking about the Fun Flicks guy, right?
Yep, yep, and so, I think we agreed on the movie The Sandlot, but now our chairman has something
No,
else in
That's
mind.
fine.
And I asked about downtime, so he didn't think he could fill, so I'm thinking maybe our event starts at 3 PM, so maybe the movie at 5.
He said he can't fill the space?
He would have a hard time filling 3 hours' worth. He could fill an hour's worth with music, or he has some fun family, like trivia things that he could show. And
Well,
it's a
we're gonna have other things
DJ
going on.
quality sound system, he said. So that's where that sits. The licensing, legally, we still need this license, so whatever movie we show, I need to contact this swank.com. It's, as a new customer, we'll probably get a discount, otherwise it would be in the $400 range, but Steve thinks we could get a nice discount on that. The bounce houses, I have, per Mark's recommendation, Party in a Box, James DeClerc. I have reserved 2 bounce houses. He asked that if he could bring them on Friday and we can store them somewhere inside on a dolly and then haul them out on Saturday. It does come with stakes and a tarp and blowers and everything. They'll deliver and they will pick up, but we need to set up, so, okay? Banners, so using Stacy's nice little flyer here with some of those graphics, and some other ideas, I did submit that to FLS Banners, Josh, so he is working on that. Probably be in the $250 range for 2 of those, so we can expect a draft from him. Ice cream, Dingaling is all reserved. I do have a contract that I'm gonna give to Amy. They do request a $50 deposit. The total cost is $525, and that is vanilla ice cream.
That's a soft serve machine, by the way. It's a actual
Soft serve machine
serve
comes
will
with,
serve.
yeah, the ice cream, the bowls, the spoons, like I said, delivery and pickup.
What did we figure for attendance? How many people?
Well, I said 200.
Okay.
When it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah, just couldn't remember.
Make
what
sure
we-
you all get here right away, like at 3 or 4 o'clock. So I'll give this invoice, this contract to Amy. So that's all set. The tent rental, that is set too, yes, available. That is Toby Tent, Rent-A-Tents. It's the same outfit that the FFA Farm Breakfast uses. He is sending me a contract to sign as well. A 40 by 80 foot tent for $1,600. We will have the solid white 6 sides, close to the, yes, he will set up the poles and everything. He thought the Jumbotron would fit in, but he wasn't sure, so I'd rather depend on Steve with the Jumbotron. And also chairs, 200 chairs at $1.25. The sidewalls, so 40-foot sections times 6 at 30 is 180, so that's that. Advertising, I guess we decided we would do no printed advertising. So if we have our 2 banners, maybe one at the town hall here, one on the corner. We got our big digital sign by Culver's. We have our sign out front. Stacy's did this great flyer that she's distributing, and we can get on WDOR for free, and Peninsula Pulse we can do free under community events. So that's that. Hot dogs and buns, Welsing's, right here in Velmy, is contributing 400 hot dogs. Thank you, Nell and the Welsing's. Plus some skinless wieners for the kids, 400 hot dog buns. We will have to purchase those from Welsing's. Ketchup, mustard, tin foil to wrap the hot dogs in pre-cut sheets we will need to order from Walmart. Plates, napkins, and cups. We got a few dollars in for that. I did go to Walmart to request some donations for our water and soda. I requested 200, but I only got 100, so I got a $100 gift card. Popcorn, Mark, that's up to you. Oh, and then some swag for the event itself, banners or whatever. Amy can look at what's out there at Oriental Trading. They're the cheapest, so most economical.
Nothing like celebrating US from Oriental Trading.
Little flags or
It's the
tattoos.
American- it's the American way.
Yeah, there's this kit that comes with bracelets and
Sticky
tattoos
tattoos.
and everything else, sunglasses, so we can hand those
Can
out
we
to the
see?
kids. And then as far as the band and the AMVETS, I'm gonna turn that over to Mark.
Is it my turn right now?
Yep.
So we have AMVETS Post 51. They're going to come and do the presentation of colors, quick little ceremony. We're going to have Tanya Hasenegger's band from the school over here playing some patriotic music. It'll be the
Jazz band?
the pep band. She said
Pep
it'll be
band.
pep band will be more of the playing the games and stuff. So they'll know more of the patriotic stuff. So we can coordinate that with the AMVETS and the playing of the national anthem, wherever music we want. So we'll have to get a couple, 2, 3 songs for Tanya to get the kids out there playing. I asked the AMVETS, and he kind of laughed at me when I asked about if they charge for it, and he said absolutely not. And I said, well, donation or something. And he said, donations are obviously welcome, but there's no charge ever for anything like that. I'm gonna call him back tomorrow. You want to talk a little more tomorrow just to get everything. So we need to get an exact start time. I don't know if we've ever done the exact start time. Have we nailed that down?
Well, the flyer
think-
Well,
said
if-
3.
Yeah, if the flyer says start at 3, so I'm
Okay.
thinking that's when people would start arriving, but maybe like 4
3:30,
PM
4
boats at
o'clock.
4.
for the
Yeah.
celebration,
Because
or
then you could
even
have the band
4:30,
playing.
right? And then everybody can go into the tent and do the movie and everything.
Ask them what a suggested donation might be, Mark, and we'll make that.
Sounds good.
Are we gonna have a tip jar by the ice cream machine?
By the popcorn machine as well.
Popcorn too.
I'm getting buttered popcorn on my fingers for
Looking
nothing.
for a buck.
So,
Also, if anybody's interested in volunteering to help out with this, we are gonna need some hands for pouring ice cream, making popcorn, dipping the butter, all the things, helping with the sprinkles and keeping the things in order. If anybody's interested, set up Saturday morning would be awesome.
And everything is free. Compliments of actually the Door County Tourism Zone.
yeah,
So everything is free.
it's those tourists that helped us out.
You bet.
Okay. Anything else? We'll have a refresh of this conversation once again at our next meeting, just to make sure we're on the same page, because I think we're going to need a little sign-up sheet going and try and figure out where we're tracking with that. Newsletter update, Linda, you want to spend a moment on that?
Yeah. So the newsletter went out, and everybody that was supposed to get one got one, even our condo complex in each mailbox. I've received a couple compliments. I think others have received compliments as well, and a couple criticisms too. So anyway, so our 12-page newsletter, everybody, some of my neighbors asked, so are we going to get one of these every season? No.
Every summer
So,
season.
but, maybe we should think about a biennial newsletter. We could have a summer and a winter or something. The winter one could be much shorter.
Page?
One page.
Hi, we're still here.
Oh, and we also got a compliment on actually sending a real paper copy on nice paper opposed to getting it in your email.
Digital,
So,
right.
yeah, so great. And again, thanks to Laddie Chapman. We worked really hard on the layout. He put in a lot of hours, so thank you, Laddie.
I think a lot of thank you goes to you, Linda. You put in a lot of hours, every bit as much
Yay.
on just trying to drive the herd of horses called us to get the articles.
Herding cats.
Herding cats.
Herding cats,
So
yes. I
thank
love
you.
herding cats.
Thank you for that.
I'll be herding horses next week, so.
All right. All right, next item here is the request from the Safe Bayshore Drive, which is a funding request of the town. You have this all in your packet, but essentially what they're doing is they're asking Egg Harbor, Sebastopol, and the county to contribute $2,000 each towards additional enforcement by the Door County Sheriff's Department to police and maintain speed limits and safety overall on Bayshore Drive. I think most of you are fully in the loop on this in terms of what their expectation is, what they're trying to achieve. They had a kickoff meeting at the Stone Quarry a while back. There's been conversations about a variety of things to try and fix the problem, but this is, I think, their shorter-term solution. And Jay's not here tonight. So, are you, somebody representing him? You want to grab a microphone? I'll give you a couple minutes, or?
Not really, but I want to hear what you guys have to say. I mean, I would just be reiterating the proposal that you have in front of you.
Okay. Well, I'll let the board begin, whoever wants to. We'll start down there with Mark. How's that?
Why don't we start on the left this time?
Pardon me?
Ken, you want to start over here?
Go ahead, Stacy.
I am all for safety. I am wondering, because I do feel that if you do it on one road, you're going to want to do it on more roads. Why is this not brought up to the county because it is a county road? That would be my question. And then my other question would be, because this is something more personal or something that is an addition, why isn't something, something more personal funded by it, like the Bay Shore Drive Association or different, it comes from a different fund because somebody else wants additional support. I just don't feel like other people on different roads, although I support it, will feel it's fair that their road isn't getting the same respect as this road.
Can I speak?
Yep.
Need a microphone, please.
Microphone.
Microphone.
You may grab one of the two up there that we think works.
So can you name another, is this working?
Yep.
Okay, so can you name another
Yes.
road
Yeah.
in
Yes.
all of Door County?
Yeah.
County A.
Yep.
And Bay Shore Drive is not a road that people use to bypass the highway.
I would
Nobody
beg
wants,
to differ.
nobody wants to drive 25 to 45 miles an hour to bypass a highway that's 55 miles an hour. People drive County A to shoot through to get past the highways. People take Old Stage to shoot through to go around Sister Bay. So yes, I can.
So, no, those roads do not have the volume of pedestrians that Bay Shore Drive does by any
Nobody will
stretch.
walk on a road that's posted speed limit 55 miles an hour. Correct?
What did you
Would
say?
you walk on a road that's posted speed limit 55 miles an hour?
No, but I
Exactly.
walk on a road that's posted 35 that people come by at 60.
So I will say one thing. This has been brought on by the people of Bay Shore Drive.
I'm well
I
aware.
drive, no, I'm saying the amount of people driving on that road. If you go past there, it's almost all the landscapers, the people cutting grass, doing driveways, doing work on these houses. They're going to those houses to do work. Again, they're not using that road to bypass to go to the next road. Does that make sense?
I hear what you're saying, and I do, yeah, I think you're correct. Probably most of the speeders are either
Working for
construction
someone on the
workers
road.
or locals.
They're all locals. That's what you guys said in your report.
Yeah.
So why are locals using that road? To get to a destination on that road. They're not using it to go to Peninsula Center.
Oh,
They're not using it to go to Glidden Drive. They're using it to
That-
get
yeah.
to a mailbox on that road.
But what's your point? We're just trying to reduce
So why do you
the
guys bring
amount-
these up? What's your point? Why do you bring these up, all these numbers up, if, when I refute them, that you ask me, what's my point? If it's all locals going on that road, it's a local problem of the people on that road. They're bringing the extra traffic on that road.
It's not just the volume, it's the
tourism, too.
excessive speed.
Absolutely, because they're trying to get to the next place.
So my
I get it, I
question
understand
is,
it. I
can
think it's,
you name another road in Door County that has the volume of pedestrians or vulnerable users, the volume of traffic, and the excessive speed? All those three combination. Name another road that has that.
Glidden
With
Drive.
I would say
documented,
Glidden Drive.
Glidden Drive.
Too.
not the volume.
Well, if you
She
go
lives
per
there.
mile, if you go per mile for length, if you take Bay Shore Drive, it's one of the longest roads in the county. If you take per mile, per vehicle, and actually put the numbers together, I would believe Glidden Drive would
Well,
hold its own.
If someone has the, the wherewithal to document that, we have it documented. The entire, the stretch, yeah, I don't want to sit and argue with you.
No,
We're
and
just like-
I'm not against safety. I'm first, I'm right there with safety. I'm not saying safety isn't an issue. I'm just saying in this proposal, who's going to pay for this? I don't think it's fair that the town is going to pay for this. I think it's
Well,
either the
we asked
county
the
because
county
it's.
as well.
Yep, I think it should be the county because it's a county road, or it should be a private
Yeah.
person or a fund,
Fundraiser.
some sort of fund, because they're wanting it. As me as a taxpayer, I don't live on that road, I shouldn't have to pay for that. I don't feel like I should have to pay for that.
So, yeah,
Because my road is important too. I live on County Road P and people zoom past County Road P. And I have children.
Okay.
And they're right there, and that's a safety issue for me too. I've had to call the cops a couple times to sit on my road to watch it, because my kids almost got hit.
Well, so
It's a safety issue too.
yeah, I mean, it's just,
It's a safety issue.
it's a lack of,
And I'm all for safety. I'm all for
Enforcement.
safety. But I think that this is a county road. I don't think the town should be, that's how I feel. I don't know how you guys feel.
I don't want to mistake because I don't know all the rules, but my understanding is repairing the roads, adding, you know, new paint job and things like that is the county's responsibility, but the other things like enforcing of safety can fall on the local level. I may be wrong on that, but that's my understanding.
I have a question for you, if I could ask. Has this group approached the sheriff's department about putting out more? Is it possible to put more people out with, or, I mean, you're talking
we've
about
been
this
doing
money
that,
for
believe me.
overtime. So what's the
We've been doing that
discussion?
since we started.
Okay, so I lived on Bay Shore Drive for 25 years, so when we moved from the Southern Door area to Sevastopol, my address was Bay Shore Drive. Now, I moved several times on Bay Shore Drive to different homes. So I walked and biked Bay Shore Drive, and yes, for a pedestrian, it's a dangerous situation. No question about it. I live one road up, Windermere Drive now. Still walk on Bay Shore Drive, not all the time, but some of the time. I now put on a vest, a reflective vest, when I go out. My husband, same thing, with our dog. Yeah, it's a terrible situation, and there's no question, it's a dangerous situation. My life has been compromised several times. And it's terrible, and it's a shameful thing. And I blame the people that are driving those speeds. And
Well,
unfortunately, there isn't the enforcement, and a lot of those folks, I will point out, are local people that are speeding.
I know that, yeah, I mean,
So,
that's.
you know.
So
in-
what you're saying is what, you know, we're asking for a little bit of money. You know, private people have already put out $17,000, and we're asking for $2,000 to enforce it. And if the speed limit was enforced by any sense of the word, this discussion would be done.
So what control, I don't see the town being able to encourage, I don't know what the right word is, enforce whatever or force the Door County Sheriff's Department to sit on that road more often. I don't know how we actually can do that. To me, because it's a county road, it would come from the county. The highway department, that sort of thing, is all county. The sheriff's department, I believe, is under the county. So all those things fall to the county, not to the town. And we've been approached in the past on some town roads about people speeding, and with a request to lower do a study, and, you know, with the hope of lowering the speed limit. But we said no, that we couldn't do that because that's one road, and how many other requests would we get? And this is taxpayer money, and we tried to be very responsible and accountable for spending taxpayers' money. So I think that's what Stacy was getting at, as well as Mark, were, you know, and if we did that, how many times do we have to do it again? And, you know, where do you draw the line? So it'd be really nice, because frankly, the coffers would grow quite substantially if there was more patrolling on Bay Shore Drive
Well, I mean,
and
we're
more
asking
tickets.
for a short-term, you know, because we've been knocked down with everything. This is a minimal budget ask for a short-term trial solution, see what happens. I mean, if we have a reputation of, You get picked up if you're on Bay Shore, guess what? People are gonna drive the speed limit, and that's all we're asking.
Has this money been guaranteed to fix that problem? Like, have you gone to the county, you've gone to the sheriff, gone to the boards there, like, talk to the sheriff's council or whatever and say, hey, if we give you this $6,000 for overtime, is this gonna make sure that they are spending $6,000 worth of hours on your road? I don't know if that's. if
Well,
that's
I don't know the guarantee, but I mean, that would be the expectation if those overtime police were given, you know, I mean, we asked for like 6 hours a week, and that would be with the understanding that they're there to enforce the speed limit.
Linda?
Okay, well, we all know how popular Bay Shore Drive is. It's, like you said, one of the most scenic drives in Door County. Lots of vehicle traffic, lots of pedestrians, lots of bikers, nothing new. But our sheriff, our law enforcement is already spread thin this time of year. And to authorize overtime to a specific road, be it county, state, or town, doesn't fly by me. I am not in favor of the town nor the county as a taxpayer covering the overtime for a specific area. Our law enforcement has to cover all of Door County. Yes, it's a high-traffic area, so you're going to have more speeders, and yes, people will speed. And to me, I am not in favor of the county nor the town contributing towards your project. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm not in a lot different position from the others. I do happen to know that Egg Harbor has declined to make that investment. So my guess is that you're gonna come up short regardless of the effort here. I feel the same way they do about the sheriff, and the fact that it's a county road. And I did support, meaning me, support the fact that they do a safety study, but again, it's a county road, and in the letter that I sent to the highway commissioner and to Jay was basically saying that same thing, but without financial assistance from the town. So, unless somebody has a different spin on it, I think the general consensus is, and we could put it to a vote, probably not, so.
Not
Sorry.
surprised.
And I also believe the highway department has not committed to anything at this point.
Right. So, at any rate, thank you for coming this evening and bearing with us. We appreciate that much. All right. I'm gonna just bump one thing on the agenda here. Let's try and get these poor people up before they wilt. And then we'll just back up for the sanitary district. I think that can wait.
I believe so.
Okay? So with that, I'll go back to Linda. Your Plan Commission variance request?
Yes, okay, so you have, the Plan Commission heard this on August 3rd. Oh, Grant is grabbing a microphone. He's getting all prepared. On August 3rd, and we were unanimous. I have 7 members now on our Plan Commission, thanks to Mr. Zachariason, who is here tonight. It was unanimous to send a recommendation of support to our town board. Do you want to add anything before I go into the comments from the Plan Commission and comments of my own?
I do not need to, Linda.
Okay. The packet is pretty specific, really outlines everything.
Thank you again.
The reasons, well, you have our reasons there, a recommendation form, that obviously keeping it residential is the best use for the request. The county, this is so unusual because there's only probably a handful of parcels that fall into this category, where a parcel with one parcel number is split by a highway, be it town road or county road, in this instance, a county road. And so the county, the land use, for some reason, considers this 2 lots. Now, in my mind, it's still one parcel that happens to have a split down the middle. I did mention at the Plan Commission meeting that I drove that area. I did not see one freestanding accessory building or garage. So obviously with residences, they do have accessory buildings because you are allowed an accessory building. Again, this is an unusual circumstance because your house is on the bay side and where you intend to put this accessory building is on the non-water side. There would not be an additional driveway. They plan to use the driveway on their lot that they own to the south. The support from the neighbors, we had several neighbors here, and all of them supported the request for this freestanding accessory building on the lot across the street. So it really should be treated as a single parcel, which would allow for an accessory building. I did have, or we did discuss that the draft report did indicate that there was room for this accessory building to the south of your home, correct?
That's one of the things that they had proposed.
Right.
If
So-
you would drive past and see our home on the
Yes.
south side, and when we did our variance request to add the, is it not, I'm
Mhm.
sorry.
You have to
When-
talk a little closer to
Thank
it.
you. When we did our variance request to have the additional, add the
Talk
attached
into the mic.
garage, Stantec, Bodwin's at that time said that the north side was the better option. We would have to take down less trees. And so that's why we didn't put the garage on the south side. The size of the accessory building that would be put on the south side would be about the same as a 10 by 12, regular garage shed type. And we would be taking down a couple trees on the Bay Shore. We've done a lot with the landscaping to make that look beautiful. I mean, yeah, as we were just saying, we have so many people driving through. We have bikers, comment on our flowers or what have you. So putting a shed, a garage, whatever, on the south end, why would we put, it just would not be, wouldn't go with the aesthetics.
Yeah. I do have to say, your residence is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you, Linda.
And we did talk about, okay, there already have been 3 variances for this parcel. So initially, the cottage was, the prior owner was doing some work on a cottage that was too close to the water, so that had to be relocated. And then when you built your house, you came before us because you wanted to expand the footprint to what was allowed. And now we have another variance, and then plus the garage addition, so now we have another variance. So, variances have been quite common over the last few years on this parcel.
True. I agree with that, and I know when Jeff and Donna had it, they wanted to maintain the original structure that was there, and that's when they had to move it. When we did our addition, we didn't do a tear down like it was suggested to do. We kept the original structure. We have cedar trees as some of our floor joists under the existing cottage. We didn't do a tear down. We have a crawl space. We are the only primary resident in the 1.3 mile stretch from the quarry to Little Harbor Court that has our primary resident on the water and own across the road.
Right, right. So anyway, the reasons for the Plan Commission decisions, again, keeping the property residential even though it's an accessory structure. You did explain that it was for storage only, that even though there's a loft, that it will not contain any living quarters, and obviously an accessory structure cannot have any overnight
Correct.
stays as well. So we were okay with that. Again, the burden of having your parcel split down the middle by a county road, a very popular county road, I might add. That was kind of an unnecessary burden. And like you mentioned, the minimal removal of trees versus putting it by your house. And there, you already have cedar trees, so there will be like a buffer, a screen from the highway. I don't think it's going to be highly visible once
Correct.
you have your building in place. Consistent with the town's comprehensive plan, obviously, keeping it residential. Concerns or objections? The Plan Commission looked at it as a single lot, and we would ask the land use or the Board of Adjustment, who's going to hear this, to look at building height, impervious surface, accessory structure, square footage compared to principal building. So I don't know the parameters off, but if you have a principal building, your accessory structure can be only so much percentage of the primary residence, and I don't know what those numbers are right now. But like I said, it was a unanimous decision of the Plan Commission to forward the support to the town board. I believe this will be heard on
August 25th.
August 25th before the Board of Adjustment. Again, if you did look at the staff report, there is a buildable area to the south of the house on the water side. You can have a structure of 120 square feet across the street. There's already a small little building there. That
Yep,
would go.
On the other property.
Yeah, that would go. Or you could construct a bigger building if you had a residence on
Right,
the other side.
Right, and that we struggle with. Why would we put another resident on the same parcel and put a well, a septic, and remove even more trees and disrupt? So,
I think the support from your neighbors went a long way with the Plan Commission, you know, allowing a separate standalone storage building. That went a long way with me, that there were no objections.
and I think.
And the
the
Steinleys are
Steinleys
here
and-
tonight,
and
so thank you.
Allen's, Yes.
You still agree with that, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I can say that what they've done with their property, even though there's been variances, that they have done a fantastic job. And we only live 100 feet from them, but the building that was there and the building and the residents that are there now is 1,000 times better. And what these people are gonna do on the same property is, it's only gonna improve the neighborhood, I can tell you that. That's just the type of people they are.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah. And also they're permanent residents, so.
I got a couple questions. I wasn't at the meeting, but tell me how in the world did one lot get divided by the highway? When did this lot get created when mastodons were still on Earth, or what?
There's, well, and they own two lots, so they and there's they own the lot to the south of them, which has a cottage on it, and across the street. And is there even one or two more parcels that,
I can say 30 years ago, when they divided that, I believe that Mr. Deitcher, I believe that's his name.
oh, Dreitzers.
Dreitzers,
yes.
Divided all those quarry lots, and when he sold us our lots, he sold us the frontage and the acreage across the street as one parcel.
Okay.
Such as I bought, he did them all in 100 feet of frontage. I bought 3 of the frontage, lots 1, 2, and 3, and we own both the shoreline and the lot, basically an acre across the street. And it's
So
all,
our homes are all split that way.
it's all the
Sure.
way from Little
Right.
Harbor south to the quarry are that way.
Right, so there's like some boathouses on the shore side. Obviously, you couldn't fit a residence on the shore side.
Correct.
Yours is the exception.
In Little Harbor,
There's
it's
a
the
couple
same-
exceptions,
It's the
yeah.
same way. There are some boathouses, and they own the boathouses and the land on that side, and their residences on the other side.
Plus, it was a selling point. I can sell this lot as water frontage because you do have some water frontage, even though you couldn't build on that side.
Well,
So.
when 30 years ago when they sold it to us, is they sold it to us with the understanding that it was gonna be just like Memorial Drive. That the
Oh.
homes on Memorial Drive own the lot across.
Across the, you're correct, yes, that is a similar situation,
And
right,
that's
yep,
the problem that they have right now, is
Right.
their building just happened to be on that side of the road.
right.
Believe me, if I could build on that side of the road, I would. And it's the opposite for Craig and Milne.
Well, your house is beautiful too. I love all the banners, so thank you. Was there anything else?
Just the only question is are we're not gonna create a precedence here where somebody could do the same thing. I mean, I don't think the reception is great for a standalone storage building on one side of the road or the other, as they're no more popular anywhere else.
Right.
So that would be my, and I'll leave that to the Board of Adjustment, but, that would be the only other thing, so.
And currently, there's three lots, ours at 50, 43, and 49, and then 50, 53 next door to us. They have the home on the water side and own across the road too. It's a short-term rental, and their primary house is down further on Bay Shore Drive. Other than that, the owners are, if they have the house on the water, they don't own across the road.
Okay. That's it for me.
Yeah, I think those are
Unless
the,
somebody else-
yeah, I think those are the only three parcels.
And
In that
5043 is
area.
only 50 feet of frontage. So you can't really do anything with that on the other side because it's really not wide enough to put anything on.
Are there stipulations of size? I guess I didn't catch that. On it's called an accessory building, right? Is there a stipulation about size and height
The
of an
height,
accessory building?
We didn't know before we went in front of the planning commission, so.
I looked into the height situation, and it has to be lower than your primary. And this one, our home is 23 feet, 8 1/4 inches tall. The building is 23.3. The impervious surface, we looked into that, and using the information that we had when we did the impervious surface ratio with the variance in 2021, and then calculating the full lot, the combined lot impervious surface ratio would be 5.79%.
If you had one contiguous parcel and you have a primary residence, your accessory building can be up to, 75% of your footprint of your primary. So obviously, this is less than 75% or whatever it is of their
Okay.
existing footprint.
It'll be a future variance?
So
Just kidding.
75%, I couldn't find.
I don't know
that.
what the rate, I'm just
Okay.
using that as an example. I
Somewhere
don't know
around
the ratio.
50%, if
Okay.
I recall, but it
I
could be
don't
more.
remember the ratio.
And
but-
then, Linda, are there rules about, did I read no electricity or no plumbing?
There-
Can't be used?
If it was,
If it was the shed, no
Right.
electricity.
right, or
Um,
sanitary or
or
anything, but
sanitary.
you are proposing electrical.
Correct.
Just
And you would
electrical?
run the electrical from the south lot?
We
That
would run
you
the
own?
electrical, is on the east side of the road.
Okay.
It's on the same side as where we are.
The pole
going.
is there already?
The pole is
Oh,
there
okay.
already,
All right, so
correct.
you don't have to run another line across the street or
No,
anything?
correct.
Okay.
And of course, they don't allow any of that to be living quarters.
Correct.
Right, absolutely, no
Unless
living
we do
quarters.
septic and well, and then
Right.
we can, yes.
Our understanding is you can build there if you do those things, but we don't want to,
Make
that
another
in.
resident
yes.
there.
Understand?
Yeah, that was another oddity, that you could build a house there,
Yes.
So there's two parcels.
750 square foot
It's
house,
crazy.
and do an accessory building. It's a very strange situation. It'll be interesting to see what the Board of Adjustment says.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, the Board of Adjustment did grant the wall sauna.
Okay.
All right, so has everyone had their 2 cents here on? So any further discussion? If not, someone would need to make a motion to move it forward.
I make a motion to approve the Craig and Melanie Schilbauer Trust request variance to construct a 2-story, 30-foot by 40-foot garage.
Recommend,
Recommendation.
recommendation?
Recommendation
Not approval.
Recommendation
to forward to the Board of Adjustment.
to forward to the Board of Adjustments.
Okay, we have a motion by Stacy, modified by all of us.
Say aye.
Seconded by
Mark?
Mark. All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Appreciate your time.
And then
You're dismissed.
Amy will, we need to do, okay, so as far as our recommendation form, Amy will send our recommendation to the Board of Adjustment in advance of that August 26th hearing. It goes into the packet to all of the Board of Adjustment members. Do we need to address the recommendation, or can we use the same thing from the Plan Commission?
You could use the same thing from the Plan Commission unless there is an issue with that.
All right, I did relay those to you, so, any questions? Okay, all right, good, good luck.
Good night. All right, backing up for a minute, Sebastopol Sanitary District 1 recommendation. And this stirred some long, deep memories that I had about this thing. Any rate, we're being asked to support the change on the town, from the town board for Cheryl Polster to be appointed to serve out the remaining term of Paul Wegner's as a commissioner for the district. And the part of this that kind of stirred up something that came up from Greg Colthurst a number of years ago, and he resent it to me, which is they're independent but governed through us. It's kind of a mixed bag. We, as part of the state statutes, we are supposed to get a copy of their year-end financials and a few other things for our review. We've never done that. I did ask for it a few years ago and never got compliance from them. Now, I don't know if it makes a lot of difference or not. Maybe there's somewhere in one of these state statutes that says we're liable because we didn't oversee their financials. I don't know. But if you think it's something we need to do, we could come back to them and say, well, we'll do that only after you agree to do those aspects that you're required by law. Or we can choose to ignore it and move on. So I'll throw it out there for your discussion.
Could I make a motion to fill that vacancy conditioned upon receipt of documents per the Wisconsin statutes or something?
Sure.
We could?
Okay, well, I could do that.
Okay.
So I would make a motion that pursuant to Wisconsin statute, section 60.75, parent 4, under vacancies, that Cheryl Polster be appointed to fill out the remainder of the term as one of the commissioners on the Sebastopol Sanitary District Number 1.
Okay. We have a motion by
Conditioned
Linda.
upon receipt of documents required to be provided to the town.
Yep.
On an annual basis.
Correct.
Second?
All right, motion by Linda, second by Jeannie. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would like to discuss.
Okay,
I don't like the motion. I think we should, personally, I think we should pass it, let them do their thing, and do a separate motion, or just talk to them to get them back up to statute. My personal opinion.
I'd be willing to amend my motion.
That's just my opinion. I think
Okay.
keep our nose out of it a
So,
little bit.
yes, but it sounds like our nose is supposed to be in it.
that's correct.
So keeping our nose out doesn't sound like, according to state statute, we're supposed to have our nose in it. So, you know, we have kept our nose out, and it sounds like the chairman has requested, and that has been ignored. So if we're going to do what we have to do, let's say to the dam at Clark Lake and maintain that, that's a requirement, then we should also ask for people to, in this sanitary district, to meet state requirements. And it can be done a, you know, separate way, that's fine. It, you know,
Okay.
recommend her as a commissioner and then do a separate thing, but they really should come up to their responsibility.
I've looked at this section of the statutes that was provided in our packet, and I failed to see, Mr. Chairman, where the documentation is required to be submitted to the town.
It says, believe me, it's digging in there, but I did go through it twice.
Okay.
And it essentially says that we're to be provided with their financials at the end of the year.
Okay.
And I don't agree, disagree, I just think if we approve it the way it is, we'll never get the financials, whether we should have them and what exactly am I going to do with them? I honestly don't know, but there must be some liability attached to the fact that we haven't had them. So I
Oh,
thought this.
that's my worry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's an easy ask, and maybe as the new commissioner, she'll be excited to give us those things and get appointed. So, but, you know, to Mark's point, if he wants, I'll put it to a vote, and you can decide on what you think is right or wrong. So, and I forgot, Linda, you made the motion.
I made the motion.
Who seconded it?
Condition,
No
with
one
that
yet.
condition. My motion does have that condition in, so.
Okay, and,
No one has seconded.
okay,
Oh.
does anyone want to second that motion?
I'll second it.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
those opposed?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Thank you. We will send them a nice letter saying yes, based on what we just discussed. Okay. Nothing is easy tonight, but we're just working through it, that's all right. Last item is consideration of health insurance for the clerk treasurer for 2027. I would just basically say that Amy has approached me with a request that we provide medical coverage for her. She is somehow or another was able to find out that the other communities provide that option for their full-time employees, and she's asking us to consider that. What we are not deciding tonight is whether we're going to do that or not do that, but what I think, until we get further into this, is in order for Amy to be eligible to go underneath the Wisconsin healthcare system, we need to provide a resolution to the Department of Employee Trusts, I believe, stating that we intend to enroll her, and it is my understanding that, so, as with a lot of resolutions, it's not something we are committed to at this point, and I think this kind of discussion should be one from a budget perspective in October when we do our budget hearing, and two, perhaps we may want to have a future closed-door session to discuss this in greater detail amongst the board. But that's the view from 20,000 feet. She did provide some basic numbers based on the other communities that she did some research on. And the town's share, at least as it stands today, would run somewhere between 11,000, roughly right, $400 and $12,500. And the employee, of course, would pay a share of that, depending on the splits that we would choose to apply if in fact we decided to provide the coverage. She also shares in there some information from another clerk treasurer for your review, just to give her a little bit of a perspective. And then really the focus tonight, I guess, is to say we should move ahead with the resolution to at least provide her the opportunity. Whether or not we follow through on it is a TBD. So feel free.
Oh, I'll start. Yeah, the resolution, if you file it by October 1st, then your employee is eligible for enrollment as of January 1st, 2027. If it's filed after that date, then it goes to quarterly eligibility, so April 1st, July 1st, whatever,
Right.
quarterly. I have lots of questions, Mr. Chairman, and I'm thinking that maybe it would be best if we had a closed session to just see what questions the others have. I mean, we don't know what the benefits are of drug, coverage, inpatient, outpatient, dental. I mean, I have deductible, I have so many questions, so, and some of them might be a little sensitive, so I would prefer a closed session.
I have no issue with that. The focus is on the resolution, and so,
Yeah, I agree with Linda. My thoughts were, this came about like a whirlwind, quick, like boom.
Right.
We have a meeting in a couple days and it's there.
Yep.
So obviously we need to either table it or spend some time, lots of questions that need to be answered. And the way I look at it, we're not giving Amy insurance, because we don't give Ryan Brungraber money to run the dam. We give the dam master. Excuse me. We have to look at it as we're giving the clerk treasurer insurance. You know what I mean? So we have to take Amy out of this equation.
Correct. Yeah.
Because we all like her, obviously. So it's gotta look at it that way. Then to your point, Stacy, so you're voting for the clerk treasurer to get, that position to get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can kinda
Right.
take the personal,
Right.
she's your sister, we all know that.
Right, I
You
just
know,
don't want
friend,
anybody
we
to
all-
be,
No,
Yeah, so that's
Right.
just one of my thoughts that we just gotta,
Yeah.
I think obviously we need more time.
One of my questions that Amy could probably look at beforehand, so we have an answer. The eligibility was the employer already participates in the Wisconsin retirement system, check, we could do that, and must be covered by a Section 218 agreement with the Social Security Administration. I kind of looked at that, and it more or less says, if you're going to do this, then you have to have, FICA withheld and everything like that. So you might want to do a little research
Okay,
to see what's involved in getting that Section 218 agreement with the Social Security Office
okay.
Administration.
any other comments? Yeah, me. Yes. Oh, no,
no.
sorry. I'm sorry, unless it's a non-agenda item. So,
Mr. Chairman?
yeah,
I mean, we could wait for that information. Maybe you could get a printout of the benefits, like a summary, like I said, drug coverage, inpatient, outpatient, dental, mental health, everything, and have that for us. If we could have a closed session before our next meeting in September.
Yep.
And
That's
then
fine,
we could
that's
act
fine with
on it
me.
in September and meet that October 1st deadline.
can do that.
Yep.
Just a suggestion.
Anybody else have a feeling one way or the other? I'm neutral one way or the other. So,
What are you saying, you're neutral? on
I
that?
mean, we can either do the resolution tonight, or we can do it in September. And we can make we're not gonna be making it really a decision on this until we get down to budget.
Right.
But we'll have enough information prior to then to decide where we wanna go with it.
Mr. Chairman, I'm just looking at the resolution. You do have to check, we choose to participate in the following, and then it's like PPO with dental, PPO no dental.
We can't, I
I
don't
mean,
see how we
there's
can do that now.
traditional, deductible.
Yeah, we
So
can't
we
do
would
that.
need to know all that information before we can check a box.
Yeah, she's given me some of that information,
Oh.
just as from some of her research, but that's fine. I have no problem with that. So we'll have most of our meeting brought back to September. We'll bring it back in September, and I'll try and schedule a session, maybe at least a couple weeks out or so, to talk about it from there. All right? Okay. Sounds good. All right. Moving on, we have the financial reports for the month. You have the account balances as of June 30th, budget versus actual January through July, and you have the transaction list by date. And I'm going to guess that Amy has something she wants to share with us.
I do. The town has received the August settlement from the county for the remainder of the 2025 taxes. To date, our charter franchise fees are only $3,700 lower this year than last year. And committees should start working on their 2027 budgets.
Did you say the charter is down 3,700, but is that before the state comes back and bumps it back?
That is, well, the state's portion is obviously something different, but overall in our budget, we only budgeted 22,000 this year, and we are over that already.
Oh, over, I'm sorry, I
But-
misunderstood you.
Yeah, I
But
don't understand it either.
at that same point last year with charter, the franchise fees, those were lowered
Okay,
last year.
all right, thank you. All right, a motion to approve the financial reports.
So moved, Linda.
So moved by Linda, second moved by
Second.
Jeannie. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved, okay. Everybody's had a chance to sign the vouchers, bills, and claims?
Yep.
Motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve the vouchers, bills, and claims for July 21st, 2026 through August 17th, 2026.
All right, motion by Stacy, second by
Second.
Mark. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right, done. Anyone have any oral committee reports?
Mr. Chairman?
Oh, did
County-
I see that
Door
clock?
Door County
I'll
Tourism
keep it
Zone.
brief. Yes, the Door County Tourism Zone. First off, we need to replace, there's an opening for a full-time administrative assistant with full benefits. So if you know of anybody that's looking for a job to work with Juliana and Cassidy at the zone, send them to Juliana. We also talked about, so we're located in the DC EDC building over on the west side, in the incubator. Yeah, the incubator. That building did sell. We have not received any notice that tenants need to go out or anything. But there is an opportunity, as you know, the county is finally moving forward and doing something with the old Yonkers Furniture Building on Fourth Avenue. So I guess the county is thinking about going into the landlord business, and they have suggested that perhaps DC, EDC, and the zone might be good tenants for that space, shared, of course, with the museum. So that's something that's coming down the line. They would be interested in a long-term lease, like a 10-year lease. So that would give us stability, that knowing that we wouldn't have to exit our building or anything, and probably a good partnership too, you know, with offices. So no retail space or anything like that. It would be local government or semi-government space in there. And then we did have a really good unit meeting in Bailey's Harbor last Thursday evening. Reports from WTA. I went to the council meeting and a couple other workshops, and yeah, we're getting an increase in the transportation aids. One thing and of course they're always looking at gas tax. One thing I found interesting was, everybody makes the comment, oh, well, electrical vehicles aren't paying their fair share of the gas mileage, right?
They are?
So in Wisconsin, only 3% of the vehicles on the road are electric.
Yeah.
So, and they've increased the registration and the licensing fees for electric vehicles to compensate for the loss of gas tax. I still think we need to raise gas tax. Anyway, I found that interesting, so really that's all.
Okay, thank you, Linda. So in the packet, we have meeting minutes from the Festival Business Association, Park and Rec meeting minutes from June 11th, and the Town of Festival Plan Commission meeting minutes from July 8th. We would need a motion to approve and put those on file.
I'll make the motion to approve those minutes and put them on file.
Motion by Mark,
Second?
second by Stacy. Feel like a badminton ball or something. Any rate, any further discussion? And I'm guessing the answer is no. So all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Carried. I offered Hugh the ability to go earlier before. I'm thinking he's going to be changing his mind. You?
Yes, I'm used to alphabetical order. And I'll try to be brief so that we can beat the town's curfew.
Ooh, that's true.
Yeah, I think relative to the last month's county board meeting, the major discussion item obviously was the museum and the proposal for funding of the construction. It went through a pretty thorough process, both in the finance committee as well as, kind of a detailed discussion with the county board. I voted for it, and as part of the discussions we had in finance, one of the paths I'll be taking is that one of the things that was said in previous meetings by the county administrator was, with the museum in place, that would be, if you will, a foundational element to look for a better partnership with the Friends of the Door County Museum. If we look at because I'm a firm believer that we don't need to be in the museum business. And if you look at other precedences that the county has set prior to me being on the board, is they've reduced funding for the county fair, saying, the county doesn't need to be in the fairground business. And they've worked with the fair board to make them more self-sustaining. And they've lowered the contribution that the county provides, and they've done, a better job with entertainment and other things, to raise revenues. The other precedence is that if you look at Cana Island, that's county-owned, but yet it's through the Door County Maritime Museum, where the Maritime Museum runs it, gets a percentage of sales, does promotional activity, et cetera, and they basically manage that facility, and it's consistent with their mission. So I'm looking that I want to do the same thing with the museum, and basically, eventually get that, operational aspect basically out of the county budget. So that's kind of where, you got a foundation, set to get the building up, get the ADA compliant, make it so that you can do your archives work and storage, but, basically put the onus on the, Friends of the Door County Museum to basically say, okay, you have this, now how are you going to operate this so that it can be self-sustaining? Because we have a lot of other funding needs in the county. And, right now, running it on a shoestring and only having 11,000 visitors a year, you need to look at it from a business perspective in my mind, saying, okay, how do you make this really a going concern? And it's, from that perspective, that's where I believe the county needs to go from a policy perspective. So, with that said, it's approved. They went through an exhaustive process to make sure that it's cost effective. And yes, they're looking at tenant space, and hopefully for whoever is in there as a tenant, we'll set a nice Door County premium on the lease, so that, you know, it helps with the county coffers. Other than that, we had one other item regarding the Cherryland Airport had a cost overrun. Cherryland Airport is like a lot of airports, small airports in the U.S. where it's actually primarily funded through the federal government for its operation. So they had to do some taxiway work. They had issues with road compression or aggregate compression testing and other things for the construction that failed. And that was that project actually is being managed by the state of Wisconsin Department of Transportation. As part of the state statute, if there is a failure and overruns need to be covered by law, the county has to pay half of the overrun, and the state pays the other half. So right now, we're looking at what we have for legal recourse, just because of the poor project management. But in the short term, we needed to basically, you know, get an emergency funding, I think $139,000 and some change, in order to make sure they could finish that taxiway, because the county loses a lot of revenue. And of course, when this happened, it was right in the middle of EAA, so the county lost a lot of revenue for people that were intending to visit Door County during the EAA. So more to come on that. I know they've engaged, you know, our state representatives, you know, relative to going to the Wisconsin DOT and the Department of Aeronautics within that department relative to just the poor project management. And we're trying to see how we can claw back, you know, some of that, but not only claw back the money we had to pay for getting it done right, but also the fact of, I think we've lost something like $600,000 or so of revenue. So a huge opportunity cost that impacted the county. So we're going to go after that as well. As far as upcoming attractions, this Thursday, there are two discussions that might be of interest. One is to go over the feedback from the towns regarding shipping containers. So the feedback from the various towns is already in the packet that was posted, if you'd like to see what the other towns said, and that'll be part of the discussion. And the other item that'll be covered is initial discussion on temporary use, with some research that's been done as far as what's going on in other counties and how the county might proceed to get rid of some of the loopholes in that language. So with that, I'll just answer any questions that you might have.
I was going to ask what aggregate you were talking about, but then you clarified it's
yeah.
the taxiway.
Yeah,
Okay.
taxiway.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
sent a thank you to the Door County Fair Association and to our county administrator. And Mr. Chapman was there too. The fair was fantastic this year. And it helped that the weather cooperated too, no thunderstorms or downpours. But, I mean, the midway, paving that midway was the best thing they could ever do. And just complimented, you know, all the 4-H families and the sponsors and all the volunteers and the fair board and the county board. It was just, I was there after dark, and the lights, I mean, it was like magical. It was just, we were up in the Ferris wheel or whatever. So I hope that the county continues to support that family event, because it really is worthwhile, so.
I agree.
Shipping container, this is a discussion and then goes to a
Action.
public hearing?
That will be part of the discussion if we want to take action based on the town feedback, or my guess is it'll likely then go to a public hearing. That's my
Do you
guess.
have a wind gauge on what the general consensus is since I haven't dived into the packet?
No,
Okay, I'll take a look, thanks.
So that's
I
Thursday?
won't do any weather. I don't do any weather forecasting.
Is that Thursday?
This Thursday at 3:00. Yeah.
No, I wasn't asking how you guys were gonna be, I was asking what the consensus was from the towns.
It was all over the place.
Okay.
It was all over the place. So, yeah, but interesting feedback, and I think some of them changed slightly from what they did in the initial kind of feedback, so.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Anything else? Thanks you,
All right.
appreciate
Thank you,
it,
folks.
Thanks, you.
especially sticking around. Okay, License and permits, inspection specialists, you have that in your packet. And you have some actual new construction. So you have that. Under correspondence, oh, everybody wants some more money, and Pinkert Law Firm wants to do the same.
I have a question on that.
On Pinkert?
What is that number? Is it per hour or is it?
Per hour.
It doesn't say
She should have
anywhere in
said
the letter.
per hour.
Oh, sorry, it's per hour.
That's-
We-
It's not your, sorry.
It should have,
sent us.
it
Right.
wasn't clear.
I was kind of thinking it's per hour, but is it just every time you look at her? Just before, you know?
If we-
It's kind of,
Yeah.
Well, I knew what it was, and so I knew where it was
You made
going.
an-
I'm just 99.9% sure, but
You're-
we should just have her
Yeah.
read.
You're assuming, you're assuming it's 360 an hour, but,
Yeah,
yeah,
that was,
it certainly should have been clear coming from an
Yeah, when
attorney's
you
office.
read it.
geez,
Come on.
Amy, would you ask Amy to,
just kind of.
I can ask for clarification, absolutely.
thanks.
Our legal counsel asked her to straighten it up.
Yep,
Hardly.
okay. So Pinkert's in there. Oh, there's the estimate of our population, which shows actually
Yeah,
we grew
we
by
grew.
69 people.
Yeah.
16 housing units last year, and this was interesting, 4,995 people are estimated of voting age. I want to say that number's up a fair bit. Do you remember the number before? I wanted to say it seems to me like it's up a couple hundred, and I don't know. Whatever, okay, you got it. And then there's a copy of Taylor Bly's effort here to create a little swamp in his backyard off of Whitefish Bay and Bechtel. And as Hugh mentioned earlier, if you hadn't seen it, this is the proposed text amendment that Clay Banks had sent in that they're gonna consider as the second item, I think, on their agenda this week. And I don't think that there's anything else in correspondence, announcements. The Vintage Revival on the Threshery grounds is August 20th through the 22nd. The class tournaments at the town park are on September 5th and 6th. The Board of Supervisors meeting is Monday, September 21st. And we already have a bunch of things that are coming back for next month.
Could I add something?
Sure.
To the agenda? I think we got a red line version. I think we got a red line version of the bylaws for the Tourism Zone Commission. We need to look at those and approve them.
Oh.
It had term limits for commissioners and I don't know what
So
else.
we can approve them at the next meeting?
Yeah. Just put it on the agenda,
Okay,
please. Thank you.
will do. Hearing all of that, I think the only thing left is possibly a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Stacy, second by Mark. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Hearing none? We are adjourned.